Victory is life. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode 36. Moving on, my name is Vice Admiral J.L. Galloway, your Fleet 31 commanding officer, and I am joined tonight by my co-host, Rear Admiral Jenny Hay, our deputy fleet commander. And of course, we're also joined by our community manager, Captain Scott Sterling.
Greetings, all.
Hey, I got through that without messing it up.
I know that's a first in the last
I
couple
have
weeks.
no idea how that happened.
Especially since you messed up earlier tonight.
Yes, I did. All right,
guys,
so
if you all knew the shenanigans we do behind stage.
yeah, so Robert was first, and for those who missed it when we were ready to go live, or when we were going live, but we had that 5-minute countdown. So Robert said first, Scott said welcome Donner first, then he said thank you, and then that's when I said victory is life.
Nerds. I mean, what? This is not a Star Trek podcast. We're not nerds.
I don't know if we're a Star Trek podcast.
I mean,
I don't know. I like how Scott's hiding half the shirt because he knows I'll call him out on the other half.
I mean, I think you weren't paying attention to this earlier.
No, I probably wasn't. I want to see that in a second. No, but Thomas, hi. Thank you for joining us tonight. And hey, Sammy. I'm sorry that you're missing your other thing, your Tom Hanks special, but thank you for joining us live. So what is this background?
It's literally the.
Let's just.
Let's just what?
No, he figured it out himself.
Okay,
Hey, audience!
it's
Can you all
Superman.
tell him what that background is?
Is it Superman's hall? Something to do with the Justice League?
It's bigger than the inside than the outside.
Oh, it's one of those things like the Toxie Tot.
Close. Something else, though.
Okay, then we'll go with that.
No, it's something else, though.
Yeah, you do realize I'm not going to say it, no matter how much you try to.
It's blue than the outside.
No, that's literally outside.
But it's bigger than the outside. But it's bigger than the inside than the outside.
Thomas says he needs that background. So, Scott, we're going to have to ask you to pack it up and to send it over to Thomas.
It's a good background.
Yep. I'll send it to you, Thomas.
Ooh, we need to get our friend to do that with the background of a light flashing.
Ooh, yes.
Of what light flashing?
Oh,
you know
yeah,
how
I know
Scott
exactly how
has
I could do
his
it, too.
warp core and it goes up and down. Video one. You should do one with the engine part of the TARDIS. That one.
I think he has one. I just need to find it.
Yeah.
What, you don't like this one?
No, we're talking about the TARDIS idea.
Yeah, Thomas, he does need to get closer to the console, but it's kind of hard with the backgrounds. I actually have a picture of a TARDIS. Actually, no. Oh, here's a fun story. Since we don't really have that what's going on. So I was at a convention, and there was 2 booths. One you had to pay money to go stand next to like a prop.
Yeah.
And the other one was free because it was my sci-fi club's TARDIS, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we thought it was stupid because we didn't charge anything. We have a donation if they wanted money to us. So we started taking pictures. We just angle it just right where you can get the TARDIS in your picture and just happen to get the other guy's prop and background of your picture.
Nice.
That's what you do, right? You just happen to get another picture. That's how you do when you're taking a.
So, I need a Galaxy Warp.
Need that Galaxy Warp Core, yeah.
I like Robert's comment here. Let's do a level 5 diagnostic on tangents and see if they're tangenting enough. Robert, that's not a word. Tangenting.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not a word I want to repeat ever again.
Well, it can be a word.
Tangenting. That's really.
No, try saying that one like 5 times.
Say that 5 times fast.
Tangenting. I give up.
Are y'all not hearing me? I just said that.
I was trying to say it 5 times fast. I think Jenny's having technical issues tonight.
No, she's gonna smack you. Is what's gonna happen.
No, I already
Me?
said that, and then y'all
What
said
did
it
I
again. Can
do?
y'all hear me?
We can.
Of course we can.
Okay. I was telling a story. Y'all just kind of avoided the story.
No, you're talking about having the prop in the background.
Yeah, he just quickly avoided it because it's Dr. Who related. He doesn't care.
Wait, I would never do that, Jenny. I would never try to dissuade us away from a Doctor Who conversation.
You know what?
No,
Read between the lines.
I would never
Read
do
between
that,
the lines.
okay? I don't know if I agree with Robert here.
This is true.
See, thank you, Scott, for agreeing with
No,
me.
no. I agree with Robert, not you.
No. I'm the one that said it. I'm gonna take it. I'm rolling with it.
Thank you, Robert. I know I'm always right.
She is always right, Jay.
No.
Yes.
You know when she'll be right? When it's her turn to be fleet commander, and then we all follow her acceptance.
Hell. Newsflash, I'm not being fleet commander. Newsflash.
It's not that scary. It's not that scary. We'll give
It's
you 10
not.
years.
Nope, it's not my. You said 10 years? No, it's already
Well,
bad
no,
enough that
by
we have
then-
2
by
years. No,
then- Yeah, for those who don't know, back in 2019, the Command Council decided that all terms would be a 2-year term, starting with this current term. Ironically, everybody in the Command Council forgot about that until yours truly, the 3 of us, were digging around the old files and like, oh, wait a second, look at this bylaw, which is one of the things we're going to be updating. But currently, according to the bylaw, our term started on March 20th, 2020, or not March 20th, March 1st, 2020, and ends in February 28th, 2022. So, and
I just realized that
I'm listening, Jenny.
it ends on the 28th of February. Where will it be? Where will we be on the 28th of February
If
of 2022?
We'll be setting off in a great way once we get reelected.
I was like, oh, wait, that's nice.
We'll be launching into the ocean, either for a great send-off, or we'll be renewed, and then you'll just be going on vacation.
Yep.
So the question, Jenny, is: do you want to dedicate 2 years or 4 years to the fleet?
Let's see how this next year happens. Let's see how this next year happens. This year happens, I mean.
Sorry.
No, Robert, no.
And unfortunately, the earliest she'd be eligible, Robert, would be in 2022. And she would have to run against me because I do plan on, at this time, I plan on rerunning. I hope Jenny would continue with me, but if not, I would find somebody else to take her place. It would make me really, really sad, but I would do it.
I will continue with you. I just don't want to run it myself.
There you go.
I'll be the vice
So you
admiral.
hear that here, folks? Okay, we got it on. We got it live.
Well, that's okay. Scott kind of got pushed into his role that he thought he was
However-
only going to be temporary.
However, I will say, if we run for a second term and Scott hasn't put a ring on it, we're gonna trap that boy somewhere by 2022.
14 minutes and 20 seconds.
I think that's a record.
You did it 14 minutes. That's a record.
No, I was setting that up. So you got 2 years, Scott. Then we'll send Robert after you.
And then I'm gonna. Yeah, I was about to say I'm gonna send him after you.
Really, Thomas? Really? Well, Mike
Yes,
Tripp
Thomas.
isn't here tonight to talk about the Spock helmet that he should be wearing.
And Thomas, the check will be in the mail.
Where's my money?
You're paying him
Wait, what?
for wearing the Spock helmet.
Check. What's the check?
That's
What are
I'm starting to
checks
wonder.
now, guys?
Where is my living wife when you need her?
You mean the PayPal will coming through in any day now,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
The direct money
Check.
pass.
Who uses checks anymore?
I mean, what do you say now? You can't really say the check's in the mail. What do you say when you want to, use that term? I PayPal you.
I
PayPal you.
guess.
There you go.
Money's on direct. Money's on direct.
Yeah. Thomas says he takes living wife. What? Oh, we'll get to that in a second. Thomas says I take PayPal and direct deposit. And
Don't
then
we all?
Robert says living wife. Yeah.
What?
Words are
Words are
hard
hard.
for Jay tonight, if you notice that.
I mean,
You know,
Jay's
I'm
life
gonna go
is
get some coffee.
Jay's life.
Words are
Jay's
hard for you
wife
too.
is living, so it is a living wife.
Is that my wife I'm hearing in the background? Yeah. Can I get some coffee, honey? You know what? She's gonna smack me. You know that, right? Addie!
Or she's gonna give you
Eddie!
like straight Patty.
You know,
Straight
Or
like
she's gonna give
daggers
you
in my
like
back.
come on the show. Wednesdays, Addie, we need you to come on the show one of these days.
I don't think
That
she
way
would
you-
ever come on.
I'm pretty sure she would come on just to pick on me and to back you up.
I mean, she does have a pretty good, a second good name.
Aw. And what is that name?
Her real
What
name
is
is
that name?
Michelle.
Oh.
It's
So
the
why is
second.
that,
That's the second best name.
and what's the first best name?
Because my sister's name is Shell.
Okay,
Duh,
what's the
Jenny.
first?
Or the first best name is Jennifer, and you should agree with me with that one.
Well, the first part of the initials, right? What?
Best girl name? The best
What
girl
does he
name,
mean,
is that
short
better?
neck? Is it because I raised my camera real quick? Sorry.
What?
I don't know. All I know is 17 minutes and 55 seconds into this, I already lost control.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. No, Michelle is the best name ever. This is true. I have a lot of exes named Michelle. I'm just kidding. I only have one ex named Michelle.
I mean,
Bradley
I know.
Harris, thank you for joining us tonight.
I know. Yay.
I promise I'm not always insane.
I mean,
Just-
I know a lot of Michelles.
do you?
I think we all do.
Yeah.
I know at least 3 right currently I can think of. No, I need at least 4 currently. Yeah, I know at least 4 right now.
Yeah. Probably the same ones I know.
Why is Kaylee joining us? Thank you, sweetheart.
Because
All my exes live in Texas.
no, I just wanted to hear what you guys were saying.
Well, you
Okay.
can watch us.
Yes, Kaylee, you could watch us on our links, Scott.
YouTube is glitchy.
I don't think it's YouTube. I'm on
Woo, Eve now froze.
Dad, you
Who froze, me or her?
froze.
No, I think it's something with StreamYards tonight.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because y'all, I'm getting delayed talk with y'all.
Yeah, on YouTube, it's all delayed. Like
How delayed?
Well, it's
so
going to be.
it was a 15-minute delay every time you guys were saying something, and normally it's not like that.
So you're saying we 15 minutes later say 15 minutes later?
I mean, 15 seconds later.
Oh, so that's normal. We're supposed
10 to
be like
15.
It's always gonna be a delay.
15 seconds
That's
is
normal delay.
Yeah, but for me, it's not that like
Oh
It's
my
less
God! Look
than
who's
that.
here.
Mr. Trouble himself.
Come on, Steve.
And for those who don't have our Discord, that is our Discord server.
They can't click the link.
It's in. We put it in the chat, Kaylee.
They can
Oh.
still copy or paste it.
If it's 15 minutes, it's just starting.
This is true.
That's true.
No, Kaylee just means that the delay seems extra long tonight. Is what she means.
Yeah, because my YouTube's really fast.
Yeah, her YouTube is pretty fast. We have 100 over 100, 100 upload, 100 download.
Okay.
So we have pretty good. Steve Parmley wants to join us tonight, apparently.
I told him to.
Oh. Oh, should we
wait,
invite him? He is chaotic in his house.
Doesn't he have his own show to do
Hope he
tonight?
doesn't talk about.
Hey, let's not encourage him to do his own show tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm getting into. I can hear.
Nathaniel, please, Nathaniel,
Okay.
you're echoing.
Somebody's echoing.
That was Nathaniel.
Nathaniel likes to yell when he talks.
Don't we
It's
all?
annoying.
Kayla, I like your house.
Thank
Are you ever going to come home?
Only to see my hamsters.
Only to see your hamsters.
Well, she has
Yes,
such a big
Michelle.
house. Why is she not giving her parents some money? That's a beautiful home.
I know, right?
I mean,
Yes, yes, Addie. Yes.
Mom stole your car. Oh, you got caught.
Robert, are you kidding me? Robert, don't be teasing me. Jenny, give him the link.
Okay.
Look, Jenny.
Give him the link.
Look,
Oh no,
Jenny.
Memento, por
I
favor.
can flex too.
Hello.
I'd like to introduce Fleet Admiral Stephen Parmley of Starfleet International. Thank you for joining us tonight.
I can
Hello,
flex
everybody.
too, Jenny.
So, Steve, what did you think of my
Steve,
I
fleet
gotta
address
find-
earlier?
I gave it a thumbs up.
Yeah, but I know you, and
Robert.
sometimes I can read between the lines.
Nope, nothing.
Okay. So, I was going to actually post everything I said I was going to do earlier. I'm going to post it after the show tonight. Readdress the things that were discussed on there
Mhm.
going forward. But, yeah.
All right, Robert has been sent the link.
Yes, okay. We have to wait for the 15-second delay before you can see it.
Yeah,
I like it.
going
Well, I
by.
sent it to Facebook, so he should see it right away.
Oh, that's a good
But
point.
he won't hear that I sent it to him until 15 seconds later.
So, have you been getting delay issues recently, Steve?
No, I haven't had any delayed issues.
Okay. So, how's it been, Steve?
Huh?
How's it been?
Yeah, I
Mm,
haven't
see.
seen you in a while, Steve.
I'm married, moved in. Wife is wanting to kill me. I'm wanting to kill her.
Sounds like a
Stepkids
marriage.
want to kill me. My own daughter wants to kill me. So it's going pretty good. 2021's looking up.
It's
Sounds
a
like
step
a-
up from last year. Let's see. What in the first 6 days? Did you guys see those? Speaking of like the first week, did you guys see the 7-day buyer's remorse for 2021?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we tried 2021. We're gonna go ahead and
I don't-
cancel.
I like my free trial. I like to cancel it, please.
Yeah. We're on to the 20th day, and I was like, can I still cancel that service? I know I'm a few days beyond buyer's remorse.
Can we also cancel 2020?
Why? If we
Because
cancel
it sucks.
2020, I don't have to be fleet commander. Mike Tripp would be fleet commander.
But no, 'cause
Mike,
then,
yeah.
wait, let's cancel 2020 after the cruise. Because I don't want to ruin the. I don't
Oh,
want to
that's a
cancel the
good
cruise I
point.
had.
Yeah.
Because the beginning of the year was quite great.
Yeah. Can you remind us what the beginning of the year was like? Because I don't remember it.
I had
Yeah.
a wonderful birthday with people at a restaurant, and we played board games. Like, what is that nowadays?
Boring.
And then I went on a cruise ship with a ton of people. We high-fived and hugged and sat next to each other, and we weren't
And hit the
freaking
nightclub.
out.
And hit
Ah,
the nightclub. You know, Steve, I haven't hit the nightclub
Yeah.
in years. I have not seriously hit the nightclub in years.
because you're an old
Common.
fart. I'll
Yes,
say
he is.
he's an old fart.
A lot
Yeah,
of
he
girls
is.
hit.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't dye my hair like certain people.
I don't. No. I don't have any gray hair.
You're
Dad.
only a couple years younger
Dad.
than me, my friend.
Dad,
I've
you do dye your hair.
I got gray in the beard, but the wife won't let me shave it too much.
Where, Kaylee? Where do I dye my hair?
You dye it when we go to Vegas.
That is
You know
true.
why that
You
is,
do
right?
have a
You know why
different
that
color
is,
hair.
right?
You do, because your sister
You know why
makes
that
you.
is, right? Jenny's smart.
Why does she make you, though?
Yeah, she's not your boss. She's your body.
Have you met my sister?
If I can't
Have you-
slap you, then
Have
you don't
met
have
my
to.
sister? Steve's heard my sister before on the phone in the
But-
background over the years
Yeah.
when I used to live with her.
She a bossy sucker.
She is the greatest loving sister ever, and we love her so much. That's just in case she's watching, which I seriously doubt.
Well, if she ain't my sister, I ain't got to suck up to her.
Every family has an alpha, and my sister is definitely the alpha in our family.
Yeah, Jay won't
Not
let me
to
slap
me.
him.
No,
I can slap him.
no.
Kaylee, go in there and slap
There's
your
no
daddy
alpha
for
in my
me.
family.
Yeah, Kayla, come here and slap me, and we'll see what happens.
Not for Steve,
I don't think she wants to do it, Kaylee. I'm pretty sure you get grounded for life. She
Not
might get
really,
grounded
'cause
for
Mom
life
would
for slapping
unground me.
her father.
Kaylee loves me too much to slap me.
Debatable.
Yeah, because you know what happened on Friday, right?
Hey, I was earlier getting his kids to hug him.
This is true.
I was getting
I
Jay's
just
kids to
like
go and
walk
hug him.
over there to
earlier.
hug him. And whenever I do hug him, he always thinks that I'm choking him.
Is that the code for Save Me, Galloway? Yes, it is.
Let's go.
Addie,
Come on.
Nice.
What is this people you speak about?
I don't know, but have
what
you ever
is
caught
people
yourself
anymore?
watching old TV shows and you're like, wow, there's so many people that they're touching each other. Why are so many people in this room?
I don't watch TV shows.
No, you watch something worse called YouTube.
No, Netflix
Really?
and YouTube.
That's
nothing on
TV
Netflix.
shows,
Kaylee.
Kaylee.
Kaylee, there is
Netflix
nothing on
is
Netflix.
TV.
Yeah, but I watch recently post stuff and animated stuff. I don't watch real people.
Kaylee, how's school going?
How would she know? She literally goes to school, but she's playing Among Us. She's playing Minecraft. She's playing.
No.
Discord
Among Us
does
is
not lie.
open.
Discord does not lie.
My Among Us is always open if I have it open because I played it. It is hard to open.
Jenny,
I literally had to fight
You know,
my
back
computer
in
open
our
it.
day, Kaylee, we had to get up out of bed, get dressed, and walk 15 miles uphill both ways to
we
school.
already did this joke. We did this joke before we went on the air.
Yeah, Jenny.
Actually, I don't think Jenny
I
was
can do it
part
again.
of it when we did that. No, it's just me and Scott and Kaylee. That's right.
Mhm.
Because it was before you joined, Jenny. I
Mm.
was joking with Kaylee, saying, we used to have to go both ways uphill in the snow to go to school. And then to get back, no, I said go uphill one way. And then on the way back, it was go uphill two ways. And Kaylee was like, you can't go uphill twice on the way home. And it only took you one hill to go up.
Where did Steve go?
Steve just left.
He left.
Yeah, he might have.
We're not too chaotic for him, so.
Exactly. I'm not talking about
He got a call.
handcuffs and.
He got a call.
Oh.
Oh.
That's no fun.
He has a link if he wants to come back again. Robert, where are you?
Yeah, Robert.
We sent you the
Yeah,
invite.
Robert. He looked at it.
Yeah,
Facebook,
like
you can't-
comments here.
That's the one thing I don't like about Facebook.
Hmm Go ahead.
Sorry, I was reading the comment. Like, okay, so you know how your phone you can turn off read messages like a text message. Facebook you can't, which is key. So you can't get around. I know you saw that message.
I like to say, it says, dang, 15 miles, even I only had to walk 2 when I was a kid.
But I think Thomas is young. I mean, he doesn't get the joke.
You know, it was a joke our parents used to tell us when we were growing up because they wanted to make it sound like they had life a lot harder than we did. But when you ask grandma and grandpa, they always snitch them out, saying, no, that's not true. They got on the school bus like you did.
Actually, I never got on a school bus.
I either ride the school bus or Dad drives me to school.
I was very lucky,
next year.
and
Not next year, Kaylee. Well,
you
because
riding school bus next year.
Well, no, because I work at 8:00, so Kaylee's school technically starts at 7:15 because she gets there for breakfast.
That's so early.
So
I
would drop her
know.
off. So I would drop her off so she could have her morning breakfast, mainly just so she could have an extra time to talk to her friends. And then I'd drop her off and go to
Not
work.
really that you can hear anything either because it's so loud in there. Because they have like over 200 kids in that place.
Yeah. I had to cross a wide 4-lane main road to get to school, to get to my school, and walk 3 miles laughing out loud.
Oh,
That's in the snow.
Right.
oh, guys, I designed this patch.
So what Kaylee's talked about, that's she went to what they call the summer experience this year. It was 5 days of day camping.
I designed this patch though.
We're getting there. So part of one of the merit badges she signed up for was the art merit badge, and they're like, "Oh, you guys want her and the other girl that was in the class? Like, would you girls like to design the patch?" So she did.
No, we were forced to design the patch.
So they were asked if they would design the patch, and so they did.
They were voluntold.
Yep. voluntold.
That's my favorite word to say. Voluntold.
Robert!
Hey!
We have a Robert. Oh, look at that. He's all fancy and
Nice.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
yay.
Okay.
And guys, he has a red sweater on.
He does have his
Why wouldn't I have a
Not
red
bad,
sweater
but
on?
hey, red sweater.
He's probably I bet you he didn't. Do you think he wears that all the time, or is he like me that like right before we go on the air, we put on a Star Trek shirt?
I've seen him without a red shirt on before. Then again, it was at work and he was in uniform, so.
Usually when I see him, it's like I usually see him in the red shirt, but it's usually when we go to the convention though. Now one time he actually showed up in the blue shirt, and it kind of threw me off.
I think it's
Or the Wesley shirt.
No, the blue shirt he has.
No, when I wore a blue sweater at STLV and everybody went crazy.
Yeah.
No one's used to you wearing blue.
Well, you can't do your signature mark and then just all of a sudden change it, and then people will be like, "What?"
Sure we can. Don't you remember the NBC logo from the 1970s where they got rid of the peacock?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I remember.
Thomas.
But they were back, kind of, technically.
Thomas,
don't fire that. Right.
Ironically, and I don't remember if this is actually true, but I heard once that red shirts actually weren't killed that frequently as people make them out to be. Kaylee, why are we focused on you? Jenny, please don't mess with the controls.
Let go. I was muting her
drawing.
because I can echo. I am not touching anything.
I have no
What are you
idea
guys
what's
doing
going
me
on.
for?
I don't know. Let me get us back into normal view. There we go.
Stop pushing
I
buttons.
was trying to mute Kaylee because I can hear echoing from you talking. And somehow
Robert.
I brought up Kaylee.
Robert, what you don't understand that the whole message right there about stop pushing buttons was directed at me. Because right before we went on the air live,
Yep.
I was showing off something, right? And so then And they're like, and Jenny's like, "Hey Jay, we need to go live. We need to go live, right?" And I'm still talking and not really, acknowledging her. And she's like, "Jay, we need to go live." I'm like, "Okay," Then I hit the X button to try to get out of the page I was looking at because we had the share screen on. I
Mhm.
exited out of StreamYards. And then I come back, right? And I'm like laughing. I'm out of control. I'm hysterical. I can't focus. That's why we were a couple minutes late today. It's starting.
It's all Jay's
You
fault.
know, you're gonna, Jay, you're gonna be that market in a few years for, how like 10 years ago it was the phones with the big numbers for the older people. It's gonna be the keyboards with the big buttons for the older people.
Yeah, it will be.
And these are the big buttons.
No, bigger.
It'll be bigger than that.
Oh, so like
Oh,
my
No,
stepfather would
it'll be a keyboard with just
I saw-
4 keys on it.
I can't believe Kaylee's joining us tonight in her pajamas.
I saw a TikTok,
Uh-huh.
and this was really cool. This is a keyboard that looks like a typewriter. Hold on, I'm bringing it up.
Oh yeah, one of those steampunk keyboards.
Oh,
But no,
wow.
like,
Oh, whoa.
isn't that
that's
cool?
actually,
Like,
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I've seen
Does
those.
it make the keyboard sound? Does it make the typewriter sound?
I don't know. I just saw the TikTok video of it. It was like a pink
That
one
would
that
be-
she was showing.
That would be funny if it actually made the keyboard sound or the typewriter sounds.
hmm
Especially when you
Oh,
hit
this
enter.
is a pretty one.
Ooh.
Look at that pretty one.
Really? You know why Mike Tripp said he won't join us tonight? Because he's watching the inauguration concert with his wife.
Excuses.
Mike, if you are truly a Klingon, you would be here tonight and recording the Tom Hanks special like Sammy is.
The jitter. I remember the jitterbug. Ooh, the keyboard from Warehouse 13. Okay, wait, go back to one. One or the other. Okay.
All right, what's the jitterbug?
Jitterbug? The giant like flip phone that had like buttons for like grandmas. Okay. Oh shoot, we can't play the we might be able to play the commercial.
Mine's is short.
Jitter. Let me YouTube it real quick.
Okay.
Not Jitterbug, jitter.
Klingons are so good, we only need one. I wish Mike would join us tonight because I really want to talk to him about the Klingon expansion that's coming. Well, sort of expansion to STO. Do you still play STO, Robert?
I need to actually get my internet upgraded. Sorry about that. No, I need to get my internet upgraded.
Oh, okay. The first time in 11 years.
I didn't know you had dogs. Or
I
your
don't.
neighbors.
They belong to my aunt and uncle.
Ah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you know,
Go ahead.
dogs like to bark at nothing at the worst possible time.
hmm
Yeah, they bark at every leaf floating in the sky.
Yeah. Apparently, Anthony Rapp is singing right now, Mike says. I wonder if he's watching us on the phone and paying attention on the TV.
Probably.
I've done that before. I've been on my
Okay.
phone while I'm doing something else.
So this is the jitterbug. I'm just gonna play a few seconds of it.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I forgot. Hold on.
You forgot to share the audio?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Let's try that again.
Is simple. It has a comfortable keypad, a bright screen, a powerful speaker. It even eliminates background
Like a
noise.
flip phone.
No one else gives such personal service.
Jitterbug is the friendly cell phone experience you've been waiting for.
I'd be happy to place that call for you, Mrs. Kelly.
Okay, Mrs. Davis.
So yeah,
So it's a phone service provider, like the operator?
yeah, pretty much for older people who don't know how to use cell phones.
You know that service was already provided prior to cell phones being created? Back in the day, you used to be able to pick up the phone, not have to dial anything. The operator would come on. You would actually have an
Yeah.
operator. You'd be like,
I
"Hey,
remember
I
those
would like to
days.
call my grandma." Oh,
Remember
what's
the
your
days where you
grandma's
had
number?
You remember those days where you had to call the movie
Rotary phone?
theater to find out the movie times?
Yep.
Oh, yep. Yeah. So that's the
They were
receiving
already
end.
printed in the newspapers.
Yeah, but
Newspapers where you had to call.
Whatever happened to the telephone operator, though?
It went
Probably
automatic.
died up.
They're still around.
Are they really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep.
Can you
Do they
imagine
only
having
have
that job?
apartments? Where would you even get a job like that?
Yeah. Like, is that like a? You find it somewhere.
The phone's made for old folks who remember those times.
Those
Yeah,
times.
like Jay.
Thomas?
Read between the lines.
Yes.
I see
Yes,
a crack and a crack.
What?
Nice.
Oh, we can talk about old school stuff because young Kaylee over here has no clue. Y'all remember waiting by the radio and waiting for the song to come on so you hit record so you can tape it on your record or on your cassette tape?
Mm-hmm.
I can do one better. Not only that, right? But when you
Mhm.
call the radio to do a dedication, and then you wait for your voice to come on so you can record it.
Yep.
And then you play it for all your friends the next day. Like, look, I was on the radio last night. Like,
Or getting mad at your parents because they taped over one of your shows off the VHS tape?
hmm all the time, especially with Star Trek. So I would record Star Trek.
That's how Sarah, my friend Sarah, she watched all of her TNG. Was her aunt had them all on VHS tape.
Yeah, that's actually how I first got into original series was VHS. My uncle had them, so whenever I was over there, I'd watch it.
Be Kind Rewind.
Yeah. My only problem with the VHS back in the day was they're like $15 each.
Yep.
So I could only watch them on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really limited
Yeah.
to whatever they had on TV because my parents like, $15 for a VHS or food. Later I learned it was actually because of beer.
Wait, they actually made people pay for Star Trek? What? No.
No. Actually, it used to be really bad, Thomas. And I know you're being sarcastic. No, it used to be really bad. It's like when a season of Star Trek, it would be like $120 for the DVD box set. More recently, they finally dropped the price down to a more reasonable rate. We're talking about for the older series, especially with the remastered. But yeah, back in the day, it used to be like $120, and I hated that. Same thing with Babylon 5. Look at Brian.
Wow. Wow.
Nice.
Now, for Kaylee, who's wondering, Beta was the rival to VHS, but you couldn't record as much as Beta.
And you also had the 8-track to go with it. 8-track, Kaylee, was a pre-cassette. Oh, what is this? What?
I'm not even listening to any of you guys. I'm drawing an eye.
Oh, okay.
But you
Here,
should
this-
listen, Kaylee. This might be trivia in the future when you get older. What is a cassette tape?
Yeah,
Actually, for
Kaylee.
her, it probably is what is a DVD?
Actually, she knows what those things are because they have this thing on YouTube called what was the name of that show, kids?
Kids Discover Technology.
Yes, that's it. Kids discover technology or old technology, or kids discover computers. Yeah, and what you do is you would get something that was old, and then you would try to get them. Like, for example, they did the Commodore 64 computer. Like, turn this on. You know.
I see.
And then they would go turn it on,
React
right?
Channel
Like,
does that. The
"It's
Fine
not
Brothers.
working." That's what. Yeah, it was them too. No, but it was funny because on the Commodore
The Fine
64
Brothers,
one,
yeah.
so they go turn it on and like nothing's happening. It's like, well, did you load the disc? Like, what? You have to load a disc? Yeah, this is a floppy disk. Do you know where it goes?
No, my personal favorite's when they gave them a first generation iPod and they had to figure out how to work it.
Okay, Kaylee.
It's
Thank you.
not.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why she's ignoring us.
I just
Kids
thought of
react,
something
yeah.
that brings back memories, but now I can't. What
Oh,
was
look
it?
what Michelle said. Or look
Yeah,
what Addie
Kids
said.
React was it.
Yeah. But look what Addie said. I used to record Voyager on VHS because they didn't get Paramount. Right? And then Tom's
Back
like,
in the day, we could do that.
well, UPN stands for
UPN,
United
yeah.
Paramount Network. So
Mhm.
she was right, technically, Thomas.
My in middle
That shows
school,
his
I know
age.
if I ever told y'all this. In middle school, I went to a sci-fi club, and I was the only girl in the sci-fi club that my first year. And the teacher, Mr. Bryce, would let me borrow old Star Trek tapes so I can listen to them.
Nice.
Those good old days. Wait, here's another bring back memory. How many of y'all died from dysentery?
From what?
From dysentery.
How do you
Oregon
not know
Trail?
that?
Do you not remember Oregon's Trail?
Oh, yes, I remember Oregon Trail. You know what? Every time I played Oregon Trail, I kid you not, I always killed the second child. I actually tried to make it
You
a
didn't die
mission.
from dysentery like everybody else did?
No, but I always killed the second child. So when I started making it an effort not to kill second child, and so I'd play, I'd kill second child, like darn it, because start over again. Tried, eventually I gave up.
Dad, what is your second child's name again? Oh, Cody. So
What
you
does that have
kept
to do
on.
with anything?
So you kept
I
on
don't think
killing
she knows
Cody.
Oregon Trail.
Kaylee doesn't. You don't know Oregon Trail, do you? It was a
I've seen the game before, but I haven't played it.
back in the day it was okay, but today by today's standards it wouldn't be that successful. But the whole idea is that you go from one side of the United States to the other. And
Oh,
like
I did that in class.
Yeah. And then, like I said, every time I would play, I would always kill the second child. Commonly, I would always break an axle, but I think everybody breaks an axle.
Mhm.
You have to fix it. Then you have to go hunting
Mhm.
for food, and yeah. It was an interesting role-playing game, shall we say. I think it was like first-generation role-playing game. From an RPG, first-person role-playing, first-person RPG style. Well, not
Pretty much.
first-person RPG style shooting.
That
Oh.
does not sound like a role playing game.
Well, it is. You role-played a character, and you had to get your character over to the other side. You had children. You had, you had these things, and you lost these things too over time. You could lose your whole wagon. A couple of times, I remember drowning. Me and my whole entire family drowned in the river. That was something we did once or a couple times. I remember that. I don't know how we got away with playing that so much time in school.
Right?
Yeah, I know.
I was trying to find. Do y'all remember in school?
Oh yeah, Indians attack. Hmm.
Do y'all remember in school those giant like milk cartons full of fire cabinets so you can flip through to find the floppy disk so you can go play it on the computer?
Mhm.
That's what I was trying to find. Oh, look, it's us. I was trying to
Look-
find a
look what Addie
picture.
wrote.
No one has taken it off of my desk.
Look what Eddie wrote. Kaylee, I don't think anybody
That's
can take
good.
it.
It's a
We'd have
great.
to find it.
I think it's a great
Wait,
lesson. Or,
What are you saying, Dad?
You know what I wouldn't mind about if with the Oregon Trail if they made it like today's standards.
Mhm.
Maybe
Mhm.
expand upon it a little and relaunch it. That's the only way to make it fun. And then like make the hunting fun, like insane, rabbit jumping or something like that. Or
No, it's called driving a car and going to the store.
okay.
But see, Kaylee, you lived a life where that was a thing you could do back in the day. That's not what happened. So I think it's a great lesson to teach kids, what we came from
I
back then
still
to now.
learned about the Oregon Trail. I just have.
Kaylee, do you remember all those weekends where we go scout camping and you don't have your phone on you and you're just out there playing in the woods and having fun?
I still have my phone on me when I do that. I want your
those
eyes.
two.
All
Not
right, when you
anymore.
go camping again, Jay, I think you should take her phone away.
My wife's giving me a dirty look. I'm telling her I love her. What? You're spending money tomorrow?
Hey,
Back in my day.
No, my wife's like, because I asked her for a second cup of coffee. She's like, I'm spending money tomorrow. I'm like, fine. My wife
See,
and I,
she knows how to do it.
Well, she knows. Well, the thing
What's
is,
she
I don't actually ever tell her no.
gonna
It's just
buy?
as long as we communicate it.
You can never tell me no either.
I can always tell you no. Ask me a question, Kaylee.
she's asking for $1 million.
No.
That's what
If I had
Pony.
$1 million, if I
Like-
was that rich, I wouldn't give it to my kids.
Wow, really?
Dad, Dad,
You're gonna
look
get
at
your
me.
ass
Wow.
dead.
Really?
Look at me.
Wow.
No, here's what I would do. I wouldn't start them off rich. If I ever became rich like that, while they live with me, yeah, sure, they would splurge and benefit. But I would make them get jobs, get real careers, and maybe by their 30th birthday, I would then turn around and let them collect their inheritance. Because let's face it, when you're in your 20s and 30s, you go through that dumb phase in life. If
Mhm.
you're a guy, especially if you're a guy, you do a lot of dumb shit. The last thing I want is to give a dumb person a bunch of money that they're just gonna blow and waste.
So you
No.
should only give them part of it from the 30 to the like 45 because most men when they hit 50 they go through the midlife crisis and they buy some crazy car.
Yeah.
So you should stop the payments, wait until they finish the midlife crisis, and get back to the payment.
Look what Eddie wrote. back
Back in my day.
No, Thomas. Nobody played the original Yukon Trail in its original Klingon.
But have you ever read Shakespeare in the original Klingon?
No, but I've heard it.
I heard it.
There's actually a guy on YouTube that actually does Shakespeare in Klingon.
Oh, there's a book that literally has
No, I'm talking
Klingon
about
on one side, English.
And there's a
on the other.
lady who sings opera in Klingon.
So, Robert, in case you
You
haven't
know-
noticed, we don't actually have an agenda or a topic tonight. We're just winging it.
How is that different from any other night?
See?
Oh,
No. We have a little bit of structure. We have a little bit of structure. We usually have bulletins.
Yeah, like
oh, I know.
see, we
right?
have this random bulletin print from like three episodes ago, still on here.
Would you colonize a new planet? Kenny, would you colonize a new planet? That's what we're
And then we
talking
have
about, Robert.
tangents must be tangents.
No
Oh,
tangents
you
must
should do a
have-
new
I thought it was
one.
tangents have tangents.
Mhm.
Just
Tangents must
have
have
tangents.
What was
Hey,
the
I
thing you
know-
were trying to say earlier? You didn't want me to say.
That's right. I don't want you to say it.
Tangenini.
We have to do a level 5 diagnostic to see if the tangents are tangenting properly.
Yeah.
Hey, he can say it at least without screwing it up.
Tangenting.
I
That's awesome.
thought of a reason.
Oh yeah, Thomas, I got this, buddy.
Yeah, but Dad,
Yes.
remember how you said yes to me to getting a hamster, and we got it like the day after you after I
That's
asked
so you
you?
that stop asking me for a dog. Remember, what
Yeah,
was
but
that
I
jerk
still
do?
convinced you,
You
and
should
I
get a cat.
still want a dog.
No. She wanted a dog, right? And so she kept asking me. And then one day she's like, "Dad, can I get a hamster?" I was like, If I say no to this, she's gonna go back to a dog. Yes, Kaylee, you can have a hamster.
My hamster hates
Katie,
everybody.
wait until you
and
move. And when you get into a bigger house, don't ask me for a dog again.
And it'll live with
Or a
Jenny.
cat.
It'll live with Jenny.
I'll take any animals. I love animals. How about cat?
No, there will be no cats in my house.
One, I'm allergic. Most of our family is allergic to cats.
That's a
Yeah.
shame. Cats are awesome. As my cat sitting here staring at
I
me
don't
on my
like cats.
River.
Yeah,
River.
what
I
doesn't
don't
like
want you to think I'm
cats?
this evil cat person. It's just
Come here.
I just don't have the patience for them. I don't know.
They're better than dogs. You don't have to take them outside and walk them
That
every
is not true.
couple hours.
Cats destroy all your property. They piss on everything. They just
Well,
do whatever
that's,
they.
you just had a
whenever
bad
they want.
cat.
Just
If
because
you
I
have
don't.
scratching
cat
poses and a
doesn't
clean
mean-
box, they won't pee and scratch everything.
Well, see, cats have staffs, dogs have owners.
And this is why I will not own a cat. Thank you, Scott, for eloquently making my point.
Addie agrees with me. Cats are the best.
Hey, I'm trying to send a
Well, you,
I mean, we don't have any issues with Laverne and Shirley.
No, we don't. Hey, I'm trying to read this.
It's not me.
In Oregon. I also have the rules of acquisition. Oh, the rules of acquisition. That's a good one.
yeah, it is. I've heard this good one.
Is that accusations or accusations?
You know, it could go both ways on that.
Yeah, but back in my day, it was all about playing below the root.
There you go. And mini Klingon dictionaries and speech stuff, okay? Thank you, Sammy. Sammy agrees with me, Jenny. Dogs are awesome. Not just because they're man's best friend, but because they're loyal.
Well,
They're-
Addie does a
they're
wonderful job.
loving. With what?
She volunteers and takes care of cats.
Addie, I appreciate you for doing that because that way I don't have to. So thank you.
You should see the animal she stays. Oh, this is so cute.
I know, they are.
Okay, I will
And then
say this.
they give them themes when they have kittens. They give them all like cute little theme names. Oh,
I will say this: kittens are cute and adorable. It's kind of like when you go over to your friend's house and they have a newborn baby. It's cute. You want to hold it for a couple minutes, and then you want to give it back, right? Same thing with the kid. It's cute. It's cuddly. You know, you want to hold it for a little bit, and, like,
so
give it back.
so when I have a kid, you're gonna come over and go, "Oh, it's cute. Here, have back."
Yeah.
What if I tell you, "Congratulations, Jay. You are now the godfather of our child."
He'll probably still do the same thing. I know him.
Oh, Justin, you're so cute. Here. I don't know what it is. I'm just not a big PDA kind of guy, honestly. I mean, I don't.
I know. I'm trying to work on your kids to get you more love and affection.
I do. It's just I don't do it usually in public. It might have to do with the fact that I've been a scout leader for so long, and I've just learned not to do big displays of affection because it's kind of frowned upon.
Who just popped in?
Yes,
the-
our resident Klingon.
Oh, I was like, I heard someone
Robert
pop in, but I just couldn't see anybody.
So Robert Reyes, meet Mike Tripp, our resident Klingon of Fleet 31 and of
And Don.
Klingon Group.
Glory
Look
and
at
Don,
6
you and
people.
your
Oh my
house.
god, guys.
What?
This is crazy.
What?
We have
What?
6 people on stream tonight.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with that?
What really sucks, I have to leave in 30 minutes.
What is it? 4 dogs, cool. 3 cats. 2 snakes, cool. 2 dragons, cool, and 1 turtle, awesome.
But
Wait,
my
can
question, Thomas, is where do you put the 2 dragons once they're fully grown?
Great question.
And who is the mother of said dragons?
Right?
Where can I get one of these eggs? The dragon eggs.
And
would
do you
love a
zoo? How much is the mission for your zoo? To see the dragons.
How much money do I need to buy the dragons off of
Sammy
you?
is absolutely correct. Cats and their cat litter are cute at someone else's house. Just long. Oh, look at this! Your buddy's here tonight, Scott.
JP!
JP!
Addie is secretly a cat in a human costume.
You mean a Catan?
Occasion?
Or for Austin.
Is that how it's pronounced?
For Austin.
Occasion, yeah.
Occasion.
Occasion.
Oh, okay.
Catan.
I was so excited. I finally got her in Star Trek Timelines this week.
Ooh. We were just asking about that the other week, or I was asking about that the other week. That game is still out and you can play it?
Yeah, they just had their 5th anniversary.
How come I'm not seeing any updates in my Facebook feed? Then is it? Are they not?
Well, they update on Twitter.
Oh, it's Twitter now.
Yes.
You know, I've honestly never been that big in Twitter. I mean, I tried.
Me either. I can't. I occasionally watch it.
No, I tried. It's just for whatever reason. I guess what was annoying me is my phone was blowing up constantly with Twitter. Not this phone, but the phone I had before this. I had to turn off like all my notifications because it would start draining my battery.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well, you just need to turn that off and have settings.
Yeah,
I
you just
tried.
set your phone on silent.
When I did that, not the silent
Mhm.
part. The silent part wasn't the issue, but when I did that, right, turned off the notification, I started getting email alert, not email, SMS alert notifications saying, "Hey, you have a new message on the site. You have a new message on the site." I'm like, are you kidding?
You have to go into settings and turn that off.
Yeah.
I tried. I even called customer care. Customer care's like, we can't turn off your SMS notifications because of Amber Alerts and
Well, not that. No, I'm saying in Twitter, there's an option to turn all that stuff off. Only people I have on my Twitter that comes through my alert is celebs that are at a convention. That way I know what they're doing.
well, it's just an issue with that phone, Jenny. I mean, that phone, for whatever reason, if it sent a
Because
notification,
you're an Android user, that's why.
no.
What's wrong with Androids?
I
Everything.
have an Android.
Well, she's in a cult.
iPhone all the way.
Yeah, I have an Android.
Robert,
I'm
she's in a
sorry.
cult. She's part of that Apple snobbish group, you know.
I
You know what I
love
mean.
my Apple.
Yeah, and you can love it, and when you go and pay that out ridiculously high bill to replace it, you can continue to love it. Me and Robert and other people, I like.
Actually, I fixed
money-
my phone for not this phone, a couple of phones ago.
She's
I
gonna
went to a repair shop and I paid like $25 to fix it.
Thomas is correct.
Oh,
Hi, Daddy.
Russell wants to join us
Bye,
too.
Addie.
Bye, Addie.
Bye.
I think Russell wants to join us too. Hold on.
Oh, Russell.
I just saw him. He said he posted it in the like when I shared it out.
Oh, okay.
Jeez, Abby wants to join. I have to leave for work in 30 minutes. Boo.
Hey,
I
Mike,
wish I had that problem.
Mike Trip. 'Cause
I
wanna talk
know.
tonight.
Well, you know what, Robert?
What?
Lee, California.
No. Do not leave the West Coast.
Well, I
he
might
came to
have
work.
to. I'm down to 2 days a week. The occupancy dropped so much that all of the salaried managers are working during the week.
Okay. Well, 2 days a week's not too bad, I guess. But
Now,
yeah,
if you
but
got a
don't-
house and a bill to pay for.
Robert, don't leave the West Coast, my friend, because then you're gonna start getting people like Sammy who said that she's Midwest. You know, and then you might have
Leave the West Coast. Come to the east.
Texas.
We have
Well,
cookies.
Why would I go to the wrong coast? I mean, you have the worst ocean on earth, the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, they made a musical about the Atlantic Ocean. It was called Titanic. They make a musical about the Pacific Ocean. It's a beloved classic, South Pacific.
I don't know. The Indian's pretty bad.
the Indian. Yeah, the Indian's pretty bad too.
You should come to Texas.
Sammy, for the
Russ
last
and I
time,
But
agree.
why do you have to worry about oceans? Mountains. Say it with me. Blue Ridge Mountains.
Oregon has mountains. California has mountains.
No. That's
Those
what I
are
thought.
good
No,
mountains.
California doesn't have mountains. Nevada has mountains. California tries to claim them.
That is a lie. We have mountains. We know we have mountains. We have the San Bernardino Mountains.
You
Those
have a
are
rock. It's a giant rock.
Sammy,
they're hills.
Midwest is the best. You know, Oregon's the Midwest, right? Not Michigan, where she says it is. Because to the north of us is Washington. To the south of us is California. We're in the middle of the West. We are the Midwest.
How many
much
times
does
are we
it
gonna talk
rain?
about this?
Huh?
How many
All the
times are we
time.
gonna talk
Rain?
about
What is this rain you speak of?
Oh, that's
Do
all
we
we
show
have.
you rain? It's outside right now.
You can keep
Right.
I'll keep Texas weather. You can keep Oregon weather.
No, I don't want Oregon. I want my warm weather back.
No, no.
I don't want any more
Hey,
rain.
it was almost 80 today.
I know, right? It looked great.
It's
wasn't that warm for us.
45 and rainy.
Yeah, I was say it was like 50 degrees today, and the sun barely came out.
Yeah, I think the whole state of Texas is rain right now, right? Isn't it?
The sun
really
was only
Yeah,
out
there's a
early
big
in the
kind
morning,
of.
and then it was clouds.
Russell, I really like your combat.
Yeah, everyone likes our com badges for our ship.
The sun was out all day today.
Not for me. It was first cloudy when the sun first came. I mean, it was first sunny when the sun first came up, but then it started getting cloudy, and then it started raining a little bit.
In the
How
East
would you
Coast
know,
where Sammy's
Kaylee?
at, it was 26 and snowing. Because she has a window she can look out.
Oh, it's like she's not going outside.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, but where Sammy lives, though, on the East Coast, it was 26 and snowing today.
That's no bueno.
It looks like we still have some rain in Texas.
So where is it snowing?
Michigan, where she lives.
Not according to weather.com.
The better question is, when isn't it snowing in Michigan?
Dad, can we go to Michigan? I want to play in the snow.
Where do you want to go?
Michigan.
Why would you want to go to Michigan, Kaylee?
Because I want to play in the snow.
Kaylee
Well,
has a much
Go
nicer
up to
house than
Mount Hood.
you,
Go
JL.
to Mount Hood. Yeah, Kaylee has a nice house. They won't let me stay there.
Yeah.
Every time I come over to knock and ask if I can come over, she's like, "Go away."
Well, at least she doesn't have housekeeping over there anymore. Constantly. At least you got that housekeeping taken care of.
Yeah.
She must have a lot of rooms to get vacuum.
It's all the Roombas.
Yeah.
A Roombas? Wow.
Cats ride the Roombas.
They do ride the Roombas.
No, sorry.
No,
Sam.
you're not. We are discussed this. You're not Midwest. No way, you're Midwest.
No, see, not here in Oregon, here in the United States, we have these weird traditions and the weird things, right? Where people say they're really from one area and they're really not. So, technically, according to their juju country backwards kind of vibe thinking, if you look at just the East Coast, right? Just the East Coast.
Yes.
They're all
And by
real
the
on
East
the west
Coast,
side.
you mean the original 13 colonies.
No. I'm talking about like down to Michigan. If you look at that, right? Jenny has to get ready for work. If you look
Oh, is
at
that
that
what
line
that is?
only, yeah.
Well,
If you
I
look at
think
that
I'm
line
gonna
only, she is like literally right there on the west side of the east. And then, of course, she's in the middle of the country, so that's where they get the name Midwest. I think that's the most dumb explanation I've ever heard. But that's
See,
where
I always heard it was I've never heard Michigan called the Midwest. I've always called that the North. But
right?
Midwest to me when I was growing up was like Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma. And the reason it was always explained to me is because that name was coined before we stole the Mexican cession from from Spain and Mexico, and it just stuck. Nobody wanted to change it.
So I guess the southeastern is Oklahoma. But basically,
Yeah. Yeah, it's because they Oklahoma they don't want to consider them part of the South for some reason.
Scott, where did you go?
I'm here.
Are
He
you?
went into the High Council chamber. You can see the building back there.
To get us back on the topic of Star Trek, since this is a Star Trek podcast.
It's Mike, it wasn't me.
I don't know why. I thought you were.
Because I'm usually down there, and because Jenny's away, I'm
Yeah. That's exactly why.
What were you saying, Robert?
Mike,
Well, well, because this year is the Voyage, or not Voyage, the Enterprise 20th. I was watching Broken Bow last week.
is it really 20 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're right. It is. Yeah, 2021.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Wow.
Do you know what the best thing about that episode is?
The Klingons?
Klingons. What?
And it's
other-
sad we just
Think about
lost
it.
him a
Hang
couple
on.
months ago too.
Hang on. The best pilot of any show is that one because the first scene begins with a Klingon.
No.
Well, they do in Discovery.
I'm
as
going to
well,
disagree.
but This one.
I
is a
disagree. The best
Klingon
pilot
on
is
Earth.
Deep Space Nine.
Why is that?
Oh, I disagree with
No,
that.
I want to hear. I want to hear this. Why is that, Robert?
Because the pilot for Deep Space Nine essentially is what the show would be about. So basically, you got an idea of what Deep Space Nine was going to be about from the pilot. Weird stuff with the wormhole, stuff with the Bajorans and the Cardassians, Cisco as the emissary.
But the Borg. You explain the Borg. I mean, the Borg were
They're
never in
Swedish.
anything else.
They're
Swedish.
Swedish.
So that's where
Well,
all
nobody-
meatballs come from.
Nobody saw First Contact?
Yes, we saw it. The one we don't like to acknowledge is Nemesis.
You know what? I saw that on opening day when it came out. I still want my money back.
See, I would rather watch Nemesis than 5 any day of the week.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would too.
What about Insurrection?
See, here's the thing about
I
Five.
actually
Five
like
feels
Insurrection.
like an.
I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead, Robert.
Are all the kids gone? I can call that movie what it actually should be called. Yeah, Star Trek: His Erection, because Red Letter Media had it right. Okay, so you have people on a planet that don't have a lot of means or power galactically. Okay, and then you have a large galactic power there that's saying, no, you need to leave because we want the planet, and they're going to move them, and they don't want to move. And Picard in the movie says, yeah, well, we're not going to move you. But previously on Star Trek The Next Generation, they totally moved them.
You got the name wrong, dude. It is Star Trek Midlife Crisis.
Yeah, I could see that too.
You know, I want to say something, but I don't know if it would fly in 2020 on how you would fix that episode of TNG with the Native Americans.
The Maquis Native Americans, or just an episode with the Native?
It was just the Native Americans in that episode.
Yeah, the Native American.
Mhm.
If they had opened up a casino, nobody would have touched them.
Probably.
Maybe they started Free
Favorite
Cloud.
That's probably true
Actually-
because they left Quark alone.
Yeah.
I actually think that was actually a good episode.
Oh, I think
It
it was
was-
a great episode.
It
but-
was Voyager that screwed up the Native Americans.
Yeah, dude, and don't get me started with Voyager. I love the actors and the actresses that were on that show, but dude, the writers hated them. Is the easiest way to put it. The writers were just like, yeah, how do we make Chakotay look even
That's
more
not
ridiculous?
you.
I got an
That's
idea.
not- But Voyager,
And the actor's actually pretty good. It was just what he was given.
my opinion about Voyager, and I've said this before on the show, is the fact that it was during the writer's strike, and they had way too many people writing the characters. They should be like they are currently, a mainstream group of writers that write the characters.
Right.
You stay true
Yeah.
to the character, you know, and you progress the story forward. But it's also a product of its time. We got to keep that in mind, Russell. This was still the late '90s. You know, they were just starting to make that transition into off syndication and exploring and taking chances. We think we talked about this last week, right, Jenny?
Yeah.
Or was it the week before?
Mhm.
One of those
they're
days.
finally- yeah, like, you know, like shows like The Simpsons and Married with Children, you know, push the envelope and the boundaries. What I honestly think opened that door was shows like He-Man back in the '80s, when parents weren't actually paying attention to what their children were really watching.
Well, and Voyager 2 was a show that launched GPN. Like Discovery's the show that launched CBS All Access.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Paramount Plus.
I don't know if I agree with that,
In
Scott.
March.
Because
It's not.
There's
It's not
another
Paramount
show.
Plus yet.
No.
yeah, there's another show that launched at the same time as Discovery, and it's really popular too. It's called Tell Me a Story.
Mhm.
And so they launched at the same time. I think both shows together is what made it popular. Now the Star Trek fans kept going back month after month, versus those guys. You know, I can't say the same for them.
Well,
But
and
there
the
are
numbers
still,
I've
like,
seen as a
Midwife sequels
stockholder,
on there.
I will say the number I've seen as stockholder of CBS, like when Star Trek is not on the air, their subscriptions drop.
Yeah, which is
When it
why
comes
they're
back,
solving that problem.
it raises right back up again.
Mhm.
So it's
That's another one, Twilight
Yeah.
Zone. But yes, you're absolutely right, Russell. And that's
Ever.
probably the biggest push why they want Star Trek to be on year round.
yes.
Mhm.
When do we get Star Trek again?
I think
When
the
does
next
it
one's Lower
return?
Decks. Isn't it Lower Decks that we heard?
Well,
Behind
Lower Decks is the earliest one, and that would probably be late this year or early 2022.
now Lower Decks, I'm
No.
pretty sure.
No, I
So we're
think
going
it's a
through another
summer or
dry
something
spell.
like that.
I would
Because they
think
already had
They
the
did-
stuff ready for it.
4 episodes.
I was about to say the thing is though, when you had COVID come up and Lower Decks wasn't supposed to happen when it did. That's why it
Right.
never had
Mhm.
rights to be displayed in other countries. Because they hadn't even negotiated with the other companies yet.
Mhm.
However,
So-
they just took care of that this week.
Finally. Yeah. But the thing is, Lower Decks was pushed into production quicker. And they went from having just some scripts and knowing the cast to having an entire season over the course of 2 months. It's the only show that they can actually produce with any efficiency and quickness with all the restrictions that Hollywood has for COVID. So really, if it came down to it, they could have had it ready while Discovery was playing. Because, I mean, they sent all the actors still have their equipment. They sent them physical computers and all the stuff to hang in a room to make it into a soundstage, basically, so that they could record their parts.
Does it not
During-
change
They already
anything
said that.
that? Does it not change anything that most of these shows for Star Trek are filmed in Canada, not the U.S. and not Hollywood?
Well, the problem is Canada has very strong restrictions of people traveling in and out of Canada too. Because
And let's face it, who here wants Jean-Luc Picard to get COVID? No one. So if
Yeah.
we have to wait a few extra months to keep them safe, so be it. Patrick
Well, I
Stewart
know-
means too much.
I know most of Picard was filmed in the United States. It was filmed in California.
And Florida.
Yes.
Yeah, in Florida. I was gonna say most of the location sets like were all in California. There was a couple that were in
Is-
Florida.
Is the Enterprise, the new show with Captain Pike, is that being filmed up with Discovery?
Strange Worlds. So,
In Canada, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless
possible.
we're going on location, because we know that Discovery went this year on
to Iceland, right?
Iceland.
Yeah, Iceland.
But I think
Man,
for
that's a
season-
great vacation.
but I think for season
Iceland.
4, they're doing more of kind of like what Mandalorian is doing with the more like virtual set with only the physical details that they have to build out.
Right.
Mhm. And
Yeah.
Mandalorian is gorgeous.
Mhm.
So
Mm.
Come on.
it
what
should
about-
actually do well.
I can't wait for the spinoff.
Oh,
Yeah.
I gotta say it.
Go ahead.
No offense, Russell, but since when does Starfleet have intelligence? The best thing that could happen to Starfleet is rolling into the Khitomer Alliance so that you can at least get intelligence from Klingon and Romulans.
What is
Starfleet,
Klingon
you're too goody two shoes. Section 31 different.
Definitely not Section 31.
Hey, they
That
gather
was a
intelligence.
huh?
They gather intelligence.
That's very true. For our organization though, any type of fan club, they don't make sense. So
But I am curious, what does Starfleet intelligence in your club do?
it's
I'm just
actually
curious.
it's a new program we just started. I'm basically leading it. There is a big debacle with the group that did Section 31 and they wanted it secret, and it came to light and everyone on the governing board was like, no secret shenanigan groups investigating members and trying to be like, whatever
So
they were trying to
going
be.
real. They were going
They took
real.
it a little too. I think some of the people in it had most of them had perfectly good intentions, but there were some in there that just were taking the concept way too far.
So they were
Um,
but in real life.
Yeah, exactly. But what we're looking at aiming at is recruiting and retention. So it's not really intelligence per se. It's just a name. But with our auxiliary groups that we have in our fan club, there's always another aspect to it that doesn't relate to the organization. And that's where our intelligence is coming in. We're doing a role play type of situation. Like we're designing. Basically, you would get in. You would have missions you would take, and they'd be like choose your own adventure, like puzzles and such. But you would be in a role play element. You'll have a persona that, as you complete missions, you'll get points. You use the points to give you abilities that you then use in furthering missions. And then you would have group engagements where you and like 5 other members would go on a mission together and have to think through the skills yourself. Kind of think something like an escape room. But again, like choose your own adventure. So like you're going to get the options put before you. What do you choose to do? Do you investigate this Romulan agent you think that might be a Tal Shiar agent, or do you go over here and talk to this bartender? Like you'll have different options.
D&D Star Trek edition.
That's pretty much what it is. It's like STA, but it's very streamlined.
No, but Jenny, I have
Coming
an idea.
soon to Fleet 31.
No.
No.
Jenny, I have an idea.
Where do I join?
We should let our Starfleet International membership lapse so Russell can chase us down.
Wait, what?
Do what?
You heard him.
What?
He says he's retention. We should let our our Starfleet International memberships lapse so Russell can chase us down.
I can just renew them.
I'm already good for 5 years, remember?
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say I can just renew them, JL. It's not that hard.
Actually, I haven't contacted him about. I want to pay for 1 year, but I keep forgetting to email that person.
You know why? You know I signed up, right? Just to get him off my back. Scott,
Exactly
Steve-
what
I don't
did.
doubt that. I don't doubt that. But I mean, I'm just
That's
saying.
why I did it.
Hey, Scott.
I've been active in that group.
No. Sorry.
Hey, Scott.
Sorry.
Are you also a member of SFI?
I am not.
Okay,
Scott's not.
so we need to talk because it sounds like these two are plants, and we may have to begin proceedings to court martial.
Thanks, Mike, for joining us tonight. We would like to...
I was basically forced into it, okay?
Who forced
was-
you? Did Steve force you to?
Steve
It was pretty much me.
and Russell. Yeah.
Which region is Region 3?
Texas and Louisiana.
I'm Region 5, but I'm in Region 1 because I'm on Steve's ship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I about to say the regions because of a lot of different factors, the organization has kind of gotten to the point where if you want to be on a ship, you can be on whatever ship you want, because you can be a correspondence member.
Yes.
So it just
Which is pretty much the way it is for us now.
Yeah.
Thomas, you're absolutely incorrect. The Tal Shiar is probably one of the best intelligence agencies out there.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Oh, what's the name of that Romulan group? That's they're not the monks. They're the
Super Tal Shiar.
No, you're not
The
talking about...
Vaishvat?
No.
Tajvat,
You know
Vaj,
what they are?
Yes.
Vaj, Vaj.
Okay?
Tall
They're
Vaj,
secret
I don't
warrior
know.
nuns. That's it. That's all they are. Secret warrior nuns.
Secret Warriors, but they're pretty
Right.
bad.
No, that the
You got
secret
A.
warrior nuns. The secret warrior nuns aren't the Jatvash. That's the Sovats Mirat or something like that.
Yeah, well, no,
Or the
they're
nuns.
two sides of the same coin, right? One tells absolute truth and candor. The other is deceptive. They are literally the yin and yang.
Mhm.
They complete each other. They are both warrior nuns. The Vat Josh are highly trained warriors too. That's why, if you notice, when she fought him, she actually was holding her own because they're no slouches.
Spoilers, by the way, for people who have not seen Discovery.
No, what's this? have to do with
Discovery.
No, we're
Picard.
talking
Oh,
Picard.
Discovery.
That's Picard. Never mind.
We're not talking about
Like-
Burnham's
Oh,
mom.
Oh, that's
we are.
right. They are in Discovery.
for
They
Forgot
are
about that.
technically in Discovery, yes.
But we knew that was going to happen. Come on, they're going to do as many crossovers as possible, or they're going to do little pieces and touches, here
That's
and there.
sounding like Star Trek Online.
In Star
Yes.
Trek Online, they call it homaging.
Okay.
They pay
But-
homage.
Speaking of Discovery,
Wait.
we are going to talk about Discovery in full detail on February 10th.
I can't wait for that.
Yes, because I can't wait to talk about that.
So let's talk about it right now.
Birthday present ever.
No.
But which season are you going to talk about? There are
we're
three.
gonna talk about Star Trek
Current
Online.
season.
We're gonna talk about
Season
Star Trek.
4.
Oh,
They're
of
going to
course
wait for season 4 to come out.
Yeah, we can talk about season 4 all we want.
Yeah, Thomas won't be there, so we should talk about it now.
Now you got to be careful with season 4 because season 4 will give spoilers to season 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So February 10th. we'll talk about
Darn it.
Thomas, I don't think you
I
understand, my
will
friend.
be
You're stuck with us.
He's gonna miss out, but
No, but
hopefully
Mike,
he can catch up.
I seriously want to talk about the 2-line paragraph today that we got from Star Trek Online and what it means for Star Trek Online going forward.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw it, but there's something that I heard on the stream.
Yeah.
I haven't watched all the stream yet, but the one thing that I heard, I think gives us a little bit more.
Okay.
I was gonna say one question real quick on that screenshot where it shows like the Ferengi and the Starfleet uniform looking up, and you see like what looks to be like that Romulan ship that you get in the box now.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or does it look like they're at Starfleet Academy and they're running?
It looks like it.
Okay.
The screenshots don't typically necessarily have to follow the story that's being told.
This is true.
Oh. I just saw it and I'm like, oh, Romulans attacking Starfleet Academy. It's about time.
Yeah. As far as Star Trek Online, one thing I will say is I'm super excited. This is the first time in 11 years that they've actually shown Klingons true love.
Yes.
They're getting their own. They're getting their own expansion. They're not calling it that yet, but they only gave us like 2 paragraphs. But they're literally, it's what it is. They're getting their own expansion and their own story. Of course, we know that they're not gonna not think about the Federation guys. So we don't know yet what they're gonna do for the Federation, but they're obviously segregating the information that they're releasing up to next Tuesday. So we do know the Klingons are, but I'm excited about that from being.
I want to see the loading screen.
You do?
They in the Admiral or Ambassador Kale when they were showing off the anniversary ship today.
Oh,
there's a thing. Yeah, they were showing it off, and in the stream, and they were talking about the design process and everything, which was also cool. Believe it or not, they actually created what looked like a Klingon Defiant. That was one of the designs that they were looking at when they were trying to figure out what they wanted to do. There was a small concept sketch of a Defiant with the Klingon wings on it, and that was kind of interesting. But that's beside the point. When they were transferring from one to the other, he's made a comment. I have made spoilers before by accidentally showing loading screens. So I am making sure I don't show it this time because it will give away a couple of big spoilers that we do not want to let hit the game until you see it on game day.
Yeah, take
which tells me Alliance is coming.
Yeah.
That is one of the big things that I can think of. We're going Alliance, and that's why the anniversary ship is an Alliance ship, and it's going to happen this time, and we won't have to wait. That's what I tell myself because I don't like waiting. I'm like a kid on Christmas. I will rip into my presents on Thanksgiving.
Do you guys see this? Oh, you need to turn off that audio. I don't want to get hit with copyright. Yeah, but look at those ship designs. Obviously, they got a lot of inspiration from the Klingons and the Romulans.
Yes.
Yeah, the bottom left is what the Defiant concept you're talking about.
I was thinking. I think it's bottom center.
Is it bottom? Oh yeah.
Yeah, bottom center. Yeah. Which it's actually, I actually would love to see that. I really would. Yeah.
Okay.
And the piece that's dead center and the 2 pieces above it are just drawings of a piece that he would use in some of the other things, so he could just move it over.
Look at this thing, though. Wow.
Yeah, that is one of the most gorgeous ships that they've put in this game. They better give it a good seat or good seating.
Okay, so here it is. Oh, so the wings go up.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's based off of a bird of prey.
Yeah, I'm so used. Nice. He flies a little too agile for my style, but okay.
I want to say he flies a little choppy for my like. God.
I'm gonna have to watch it and see exactly. I bet if we look at it, we can actually tell a little bit about how many seats this thing has.
Mhm.
See, what I usually like to do is I like to fly out, then turn around, and then come underneath the ship, and then swoop back out and do it again. Do like a crazy 8 style attack.
My problem is I like to bowl my way into the middle. It's why I like cruisers. Park myself in the middle and just have at it, point blank.
When I'm
We're
in a cruiser-
talking Battlestar Galactica style.
No, when you do a cruiser, you need to do broadside.
Of course, that's
Broadside.
also how I blow up.
I was gonna say, if you broadside and just go in a circle around them, don't let them get in front of you. Don't let them get behind you. Just keep them in that broadside angle right there, and you'll be okay. Just reduce your speed to like 1/4, and they shouldn't be able to get around. That doesn't work with the pilot ships or the Raptors, but still.
See, I just try to stick in the rear arc and then just they continue firing on them with forward weapons and just stay in the rear arc as long as possible.
However, that doesn't work on certain ships. Like if you fly the Borgon carrier, they have 5 weapons in the back.
Yeah, that you come at
Really?
them on the sides and the bottoms, but
Go ahead, Mike.
One thing I wanted to mention before Jenny leaves is you guys were already in podcast while I was watching it. Did you notice that we had a Star Trek Discovery Star, or here we had a Star Trek Discovery Star that was in one of the Broadway pieces? They had Broadway actors that sang together in a piece that was put together for the inauguration, and Anthony Rapp was one of them.
Yeah, I saw your comment and I posted it live when you said it to
Cool.
us.
Excellent. I wanted to make sure that was mentioned.
Yeah.
It was neat. He did us proud.
My son's mean. I was trying to play with his Legos off the screen and he took it away from me. He doesn't let me
So-
play with toys.
Here's what we need to do. We need to give Jay a Lego brick that just has nothing on it but buttons that he can play with.
They have those things. They're
buttons
called
on
fidget.
I
fidget
know
things.
we need to get one for Jay though.
Yeah, I play with my my Velcro thing a lot for the headphone piece. So yeah, that's what I do a lot. I play with it a lot.
Apparently Thomas here likes cruisers. I don't know why. I'm more of a destroyer kind of guy myself. I like the small, scrappy little ships that are built to fight.
am I weird in that I use a tactical ship? Like I've used a Prometheus class, but I'm
No.
an engineer.
They
a
better do
character.
legendary ships, and we better get a legendary Prometheus, because I'm sorry, but that ship's seating is way outdated. It's a great ship. It looks fantastic. They redid the art on it, but it needs better seating to make
Which
it more. The Prometheus.
The multi-assault vector mode
Alright.
one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bam.
Y'all have fun talking about Star Trek Online. I have to go get ready for work.
Whatever.
I'm
You
on
know,
day
if we were-
606.
Okay.
Hey, if we were talking about Among Us, you would stay on.
No, I wouldn't. I have to be at work. Remember,
I know.
She's sus.
I am always
you know,
sus.
you know how I feel about your job right now.
Yeah, yeah. I'll fill in later, Robert, if you want to know. Bye, guys.
All right,
See
Jenny.
ya.
Bye, Jenny.
Now let's talk Doctor Who now that she's gone.
Bye, guys. I'd like to thank you for coming on today. Chill.
But no,
Is it
seriously,
true they're gonna get the IT guy, the guy from the IT scene or whatever the name of that show is to play the next
Richard
Doctor?
Adewale?
Oh no.
Yeah, I was reading an article about that. I just can never.
Yeah, I
pronounce his
can't.
name.
I couldn't see him as the next Doctor.
Oh no, I couldn't see Capaldi as a doctor, but he did a decent job.
Yeah, yeah. 13,12 was great. Yeah.
Yeah. They need better. They need better scripts though. I liked the last couple of Doctors, but I feel like the scripts were a little bit lacking at times.
You're doing better
Yeah.
than I am, Mike. I just can't get past the trailer. I tried
Well, I don't
watching.
know. I
the
haven't
doc-
seen the last 2 seasons.
I haven't either.
I haven't watched any of them.
You need to. Each Doctor is its own thing, so you need to give at least one of them a chance.
See, I liked Eccleston.
I did too. That's actually who I started with.
You know, the next show I want to watch, the new Battlestar Galactica. I saw the guy talk about it and but the only thing that concerns me about the new Battlestar Galactica series is they're not even done writing the pilot. They have no idea where they're going with the story. And so when he was asked that question, where do you see the story going? Well, we haven't gone past the pilot. Like,
Do you know what I like about it?
No.
That they were saying it sounds like they are not rebooting the franchise.
They're
that
not.
this will fit elsewhere in it. And that will be nice. If they could do something like Blood and Chrome, that would be perfect. Where you go back to the first war.
Don't think that's what they're. See,
But it's going to have to be. If it's going to be Battlestar Galactica, it has to have the Battlestar Galactica in it. So we got a limited time frame.
But I don't think it's going to be the way you think it is, and I could be completely wrong on this. Because if you remember, he said something key in that whole conversation, right, in the interview. And the thing he said is, it's going to be kind of like the way they did this current iteration, but it's not going to be like this current iteration. Because if you notice, the Battlestar Galactica and Caprica that came after it, well, Caprica was apparently is the future of the original colonists that settled in 150,000 years later.
No.
No.
Caprica was
Caprica.
Caprica was
Caprica's
a prequel.
Yeah, that's what I heard
Yeah.
too. But then
It was
But-
Adama's father.
I heard
And-
the same thing, but then I also heard, I'm not saying from there. I swear I heard it on not a podcast, but on one of those where the people talk on the convention. Sorry,
Yeah.
I heard on the convention that it was supposed to be a prequel, non-prequel series because they were talking about how going into the future, 150,000 years, that Caprica keeps repeating itself, or that Battlestar keeps repeating itself. Somebody actually did a fan fiction story on that. How like you go
There
Oh, I
is.
see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they
because you
drop-
have Cobol. Because you have Cobol, they created the Cylons. There was a problem. Something happened. You have the original 13 tribes go out. One of the tribes was the Cylons.
and then
which-
and then
And then you have the 14 colonies or
Yeah.
whatever it was. And then you have the 12 colonies of mankind.
yeah, and then
do
they
it
started
again.
over about their history and started it over again.
But yeah,
So
I know that
here's-
Caprica is directly before Battlestar Galactica. There's 3 reasons for it. One, you see the you don't see the Battlestar Galactica in person, but you see it in text. It's on one of the newspapers about how they're talking about how it just got built.
So this is
2,
50 years.
huh?
So this is way before Blood and Chrome because Blood and Chrome was 50 years
Yes.
prior.
Adama is a little
It's not
boy
much
in-
further before.
at this timeline.
Because
Okay.
had they continued into the next season, it would have gone into the explanation of why the Cylon War happened. That was the next step in Caprica, but they didn't get that season.
Well, then why did they do it the other way then? Because like I said, when I was watching the, did we lose Robert? Oh, we lost Scott. Okay.
No, I'm still here.
I know that what you're talking about is a common fan theory that was talked about before the end of the second season. And the reason why, or before the end of the series, I should say. I don't remember if it even got a real second season. It had like one of those half season things.
Yeah.
But the reason why is they were talking about the son, how the son of the lawyer, the Adama son, was too old.
Yeah.
And then they explain it. That it's not the same person, not the same son. And then in the end, you see Adama. You see him with the blue eyes and everything else as a child. And you're like, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because Caprica is about, give or take, before the end of before the start of Battlestar Galactica, is about 55 to 60 years before.
Okay.
It's right before Blood and Chrome. Within like 12 years of it, basically, is what you end up running into.
Well,
Or
the
it's,
thing I heard
it's
about Blood and
the
Chrome-
end of Caprica. There's a time period of like 12 to 15 years
Yeah.
before you get to Blood and Chrome. and then Blood and Chrome skips ahead another like 30 something, 40 years, or
The thing I
whatever
heard
it
about
is.
Blood and Chrome was it was supposed to be a spin-off reboot episode
Love it.
pilot that they just ended up turning into a web series.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the pilot for a spin-off that would go into like Adama when he was a fighter pilot during the first Cylon War.
And the pilot actually is him being assigned to the Galactica for the first time.
Right.
But the thing I liked about it, and I kind of got mad at some of the fans about, was I actually liked the concept of it. I like the idea of the story. I like the idea of this hotshot kid, you know, who got grounded in reality by the end of it. And I would have liked to seen that character develop. And, you know, okay, because we heard during the reboot series how he used to be wild and how he mellowed out over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved to seen that story play out.
Yeah. And you could see his cockiness in that pilot.
Yeah.
The other thing too is from Caprica, his father becomes a Halitha lawyer.
Yeah.
So you got to think he probably would have had a pretty strong connection to the Halitha that never gets mentioned or even talked about in Battlestar later on. So it's
Maybe they will bring back Blood and Chrome or some variant of it.
Yeah. But the other thing, but with what you were saying before, you brought up an interesting possibility. They could end up setting something in the Galactica series. And think about it. The names of the gods and everything that they're doing are gods and everything that we have here on Earth.
Right.
It could be this is the future. Their series could be the future of Earth, where everything repeats, or it could be Cobol, or it could be before Cobol. It's all happened before. It'll all happen again.
Well, Cobol,
and the way they ended the series, it came forward to today, and it showed that we were on the same path that they were. So who knows? Maybe they pick up. So you know what it's going to be? Battlestar Galactica 1984?
1980.
1980. There you go.
That was a
we get the cool motorbikes and all that.
That was a god awful reboot.
I know. Tell me about it.
But I will say though, on Battlestar Galactica's front, I seriously hope that they bring back more of the original character concepts. I don't mean that they need to be the same way that they were before, but you know, like I didn't mind Starbuck being a female, but there was other characters like Boxy, for example. That would have been a fun comic relief right there.
Boxy was in the new Battlestar Galactica though.
Oh, really?
Only but once he got to the ship, they
No, I'm saying, but he was a main supporting character.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What was the dog's name? Remember that mechanical dog in the original?
The Daggett. It was.
Apparently,
Do you need something like that?
It's been too long since I watched it.
Thomas, are you talking about a fan of the original 70s version, or are you talking about Ronald D. Moore's version? He's not a fan of, because I actually like both for different reasons.
Yeah, I like the new one for most all the Battlestar Galactica concepts. I'm not really fond of the Cylon concepts they came up with. I kind of like the original Cylon concept that this was an alien race that was like hell bent on the destruction of mankind. And that Baltar was actually a villain and not just like someone who was taken advantage of. I don't know.
The original one was a very good space opera type, space sci-fi vein of Star Wars, that type thing, back in that time period. It was perfect for it. The newer one, the Ronald Moore one, is a great human story. And it's like you have the Battlestar, which is a character in itself, but it followed the human arc so much, which was interesting because even the Cylons became a human arc in themselves.
Right.
And it was really cool the way that worked. And you didn't know what was going to happen because Baltar became a bad guy, became a good guy, became, something in between. And even the Cylons became good guys.
I didn't mind that. I didn't mind the Cylons being good and bad, but I didn't like the fact that they were human because it reminded me way too much of Stargate with the replicators. It's like, we're just going to steal this idea from the replicators. Now they're humans, they want to be part of this, and then when they get betrayed, they their feelings get hurt. I was kind of glad to see that's not the direction they went. But on the same token, I just felt like I've seen that before.
Wait a minute. Which came first? The
talk about it.
Cylons
Well, they're both
or
genre,
the
so-
Replicators?
Replicators.
Are you sure?
No, but I'm gonna go
Because
with that.
remember, the pilot miniseries came out several years before the actual show did.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Let's see. Well, the thing is, you also got human form replicators because they had the replicators before they became. Oh wait, no, the first replicator was a human form replicator. Forgot about that.
Yeah. So
The woman was.
Thomas. No, not everybody was a Cylon. I don't know about you, but I was kind of shocked when they discovered that Colonel Ty was a Cylon. It's like, how long did they infiltrate? Because that's a scary thing. Because was Colonel Ty seriously ever a real person? Or is it just or have they had these human Cylons for 50 plus years?
He was
See,
a
that's
real
the thing,
person.
though. The ones that's the thing I kind of got from it. The ones that were created on Kobol,
Yes.
they through time evolved to a point. The machines evolved to a point where they were no longer really machines, where they were organic. They were synthetic in the fact that they were created from basically a robot, but it had gotten to the point where there was no robotic features of them left. They were completely organic. So they had basically just found a way to make their mechanisms completely organic. So effectively they became natural. Like they bred, they mated just like normal humans, like they had become human. But it happened over a course in time on the first Earth. And then they created their own Cylons, which were robots. And then they screwed themselves over by creating themselves, basically.
Okay. To answer the question, which came first?
Okay.
Stargate, the first episode that human forms replicators were introduced, was Unnatural Selection, and it aired on December 4th, 2002. The Battlestar Galactica miniseries, first episode aired December 8th, 2003.
So Stargate.
So Stargate.
Stargate was first, but I'm going to say that Battlestar Galactica was probably already in production at that point.
That's not correct. I just went and looked at that episode. That is not the first human form replicator.
Oh, really?
No, the first replicator episode has a woman who is like the one who was like the steward of the original replicators that you see.
I forgot about
she
her.
was a human form replicator.
Yeah, she's the first human form.
Yeah, she was made specifically in a human form of the replicator. But yeah, that guy right there, yeah, he's the first one where the replicators had become human form from their own progenesis. But like the woman that was created, she was created by the same person who created the replicators.
Thomas, I would agree with you that Stargate's better, but unfortunately, because Stargate's owned by MGM, we are probably not going to see any Stargate for a while. They keep throwing out the idea that they want to revive it, but I don't think they know how to revive it. At this point.
I never got to see it. I could never find it. But whatever happened with that Stargate Origins show?
It was a.
Oh, that sucked.
Well, it was a mini.
Oh God, don't get me started.
Yeah, it was a self-completing miniseries. It was only 10 episodes long, and it's a prequel. And it was.
I assume it's a looper too. It's a Braga reset because some of the history they were talking about we already had established.
No, it's not a reset. They basically, I'm going to spoil the ending for you. They wiped their minds at the very end, so it never happened.
Oh,
They
okay.
did that cheesy.
So they
cop-out.
did a Braga reset switch, but they just didn't reset everything for everything.
Well, yeah. it's
They
like,
just reset it for everybody that mattered.
happened, Russell, but you don't remember it happening.
Yeah,
We're just going to wipe your mind. Don't worry about it.
it's a Braga reset switch. Might as well be.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, sorry you never seen it. Minor spoiler, but it's been out for a couple years now.
Hey, I've never seen it. I don't really.
I mean,
care.
there had to be an explanation. They were talking about going to other planets before the Air Force project, and that didn't make any sense because they only knew one bloody address up until that point in the canon. We only knew of one address. And actually, no, we knew of 2 addresses. We knew of, effectively, we could have known about the Abydos one, but we didn't know about it. And then we knew the one where the one guy went.
Yeah, Ernest
and they
Littlefield.
didn't find him until the Stargate episode later.
Yeah. That was Ernest Littlefield's. Yeah.
Yeah, Littlefield. Like, that was the one. That one worked, but when they tried to redial it, it didn't because it got just far enough out of stellar drift that it was out of range and needed the recalculation to be done on it.
What is the latest that anyone has heard on the Stargate reboot? Wasn't Netflix going to pick it up or something?
No, they're just talking about it as a broad topic.
Netflix has been trying to get it for a while now.
They don't.
MGM doesn't have a good track record of releasing rights of anything.
Well, I seriously hope they don't because Netflix has a bad track record as of late canceling shows in their prime.
In other words, they're doing exactly what the Sci-Fi Network did. Sci-Fi
I would
Network
say are
stuck
doing
with
what Fox does. Ooh, is that an awesome sci-fi show? Let's put it on for a season and then cancel it.
You mean, never mind, we won't go there.
Talk about Orville?
Huh?
No, Orville's not canceled. It moved to Hulu.
No, the Orville won't get canceled because they can't piss him off. If they piss him off, they stop getting Family Guy and American
But this is the
Dad.
last season of it, isn't it?
It is canceled though because and it's not because of Hulu. I mean, he said at the end of the season, he said in an interview recently that he doesn't want to do it anymore. He wants to move on to other things. He will complete the obligated 3rd season, but he's done.
Mhm.
That's MacFarlane.
Yeah, and that's normal Seth MacFarlane. I mean, the thing is with American Dad and freaking in Family Guy, he could pump like 6 of those episodes out in a sitting.
Yeah.
Like that's not like that doesn't take him that long. But I know that he wants to do like movie career type stuff. But
Well, here's the thing I understand. If he doesn't want to be the captain, fine. Get someone else to play the captain. Keep the show going.
just have have his XO take
Kill
it
him off.
over.
Mhm.
But here's the thing: he's the creator.
Yeah, and he'll always have creative rights.
Yeah, and in all honesty, Gene Roddenberry was the creator too, and you can't tell me he was sitting there actually doing a whole lot when he was dying, like, but he was still on the show.
Brian Fuller's the executive producer of all the Star Trek stuff underneath, and he doesn't do anything with Star Trek anymore. But his name will always be on there because he was the initial guy to launch the Star Trek reboot, TV series reboots. So, like, if you notice, he's on Discoveries. I don't know if he's on Picard. I didn't pay that close attention.
I don't think he's on Picard's.
He's not on
because
Picard.
was
Not
later.
Discovery. But he's
Yeah.
still
Oh
on-
yeah, he's definitely on Discovery.
So he launched that. Alex Kurtzman's on all of them. Then, of course, you have your Rod Roddenberrys and your Trevor Noss and all the other guys, too.
Yeah.
Like the 25 executive producers that follow.
Thomas mentioned Firefly. I honestly think they should go back and just do another show in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Not Firefly itself. Just
No, not Firefly itself. Maybe have like you see someone in the background, like they just have a cameo of
Yeah,
Nathan Fillion walking by, like in a station. He's just walking by. They're like, ooh, 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 looky who it is, and don't talk to him, don't do anything, just have him walk by.
Yeah.
Call it a day, but
Or
like
if
have
they
it something completely different.
Or if they do a small cameo and be like, I'm getting too old for this shit. Use one of those classic throwaway lines. Like, good luck, kid. You know what I mean? Like, passing the torch kind of thing.
But I was thinking like you could make it on like the Dortmunder. You can make a show where it's literally people in the Alliance, like Alliance soldiers on the main ship that's going around annoying the crap out of people and doing customs inspections and stuff like that. You could see it from the other side. Like Joss made a very expansive universe for that show. There's plenty of space to make other stuff. I mean, it's a lot like Star Wars. It took them forever to come to the realization that they had created this ridiculously sized universe and weren't using a tenth of it.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny
And
says
now
that-
they started doing it, and they're like, "Oh wow, we can make a lot of money doing this."
Yeah. Nathan said he would love to see a reboot entirely. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, at some point though, it was good for the time it was on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because kind of like when they tried to do the Knight Rider spinoff reboot, that did not go over too well. And
Jenny
there's a
meant to
problem
say,
there. Simon and
meant to say
Kaylee,
that. Mhm.
because she said Simon and River. I was
Right.
thinking,
She
I
didn't
thought
mean
Simon
to.
died. Didn't Simon die?
No.
No.
I know how you do it. What was the pilot's name?
Oh, Wash.
Wash.
Yeah. You have it to where it begins with him in the shower. It's like you show his death scene and then you show him wake up and it was all a nightmare. The entire show. And it begins again.
No.
So wait, so you basically make the pilot the same thing as the last episode of Bob Newhart?
Basically what no, not Bob Newhart. I'm thinking more Dallas.
No, here's my thing. Serenity closed.
Serenity
closed
now.
No, hold on. Serenity closed
Serenity
out
now.
Firefly. Okay?
Yeah.
Serenity closed out Firefly, but they can still play in the universe like Russell was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I think
create
that
new
would be a
bad guy,
great way
create a
to do
new
it.
story.
I think that would be a great way to do it.
Yeah.
It's like Star Trek and Star Wars playing in the same sandbox,
Mhm.
but you have different people that are playing.
Yeah. I think that would be a better hit. You could probably even, now that we know the story of the Reavers, you could still probably use the Reavers.
Yeah.
In a
There's
different
it's
way.
not like they're gone.
Yeah.
Like they're still floating around.
Yeah, but now that you know who they are, you can start researching. You can figure out how to defeat them. There's better ways of doing that, but
Yeah.
The
It's
only
not-
the one mystery of that show that like I love, everybody's like, oh, they solved the Reavers, blah blah. I'm like, Reavers were talked about like twice. Like they weren't that big of a deal out of 14 episodes. There's one mystery that's in every bloody episode, and they never freaking touch on it.
oh, I'm curious. What is it?
Book, what the hell was he?
Oh, that would be a great thing.
Because the
You
thing
imagine
is, in
Joel-
the first episode, he shows that ID card,
Yeah.
and they're like,
He has a past.
and then they're like, oh, wow. And then when he goes to the hospital, he shows it again, and like, oh. And it's like the common rumor is that he's one of the assassins, like the character in Serenity, that he used to be one of them, and that he has like complete access to everything to this day. But it's never confirmed, because someone also mentioned the fact that you've, in the entire series, you never see the president
It's true.
of the Commonwealth or whatever it was. You never see the leader. He's talked about, but like nobody seems to know who he is, and that might have been Book.
That's true.
It's weird, but yeah, like his story, you could probably make a decent series out of.
Mhm.
And that way you don't have to take Nathan off of The Rookie, which is a show that I love.
See, I need to catch up on that. I saw the pilot, I was super interested, and then I'm like, sweet, I'm gonna wait until the season ends and then I'll watch it.
You need to watch it. It's really good.
And then I'm like, and then it just got put onto the backlist of shows that like I finally just caught up with what is it? Crap. His
You
Dark
can laugh all you
Materials.
want, Scott. Well, we're not posting that comment.
And I've been trying to do that one for a long time.
What was it?
What is maybe he
Read it.
paper?
Scott, you're breaking up.
You know, I
How are you making that happen? That's pretty amazing.
Scott, you're breaking up, buddy.
No,
All
it's
right,
you
fine.
push
I'll
the button.
do it. Maybe his ID card is a site
His
paper,
physic
like-
paper. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it? Then Thomas says, "Do it." Fine, Thomas. For you, I did it.
But no, I always think that he's just like he's definitely something in the whole scheme of the government somehow or another. But it's like what? And if he is, why is he acting as a shepherd on this ship? Like, why is he there? Like, it just there's a lot of questions about that character that never get answered. And
My guess is they probably wanted to expand on it, but they only got 13 episodes.
oh yeah, they got 13 episodes, but then they got the movie. In the movie, they said Josh said he was going to clear up. He said he was going to clear up everything that he felt needed to be.
But that needed to be, and he didn't mess with it.
And he
Instead,
didn't
they killed
touch
him
it.
off.
So yeah, and then they killed him off. So they like closed off any potential of him like coming in. It's like,
Not
and that
only
was the other
that-
thing. In the movie, he knows what this guy does. He knows exactly what he's going to go to, what links he'll go to find Mal, and like he's telling him about him. So I'm like, he must have been one of them. But then I'm like, well, then that type of position doesn't look like something you walk away from. Like you disappear. You
But
never
you
are
know,
seen
he's
again.
on a supply ship, right? Because the Firefly is basically a supply ship. He's on a supply ship pretending to be a shepherd. That could be an interesting plot twist. Then they find out later who he was.
Yeah, but the whole point is if you're like a secret agent on that level that was privy to the secrets that he knew, you would
I wouldn't
expect
say
that they
secret
would
agent,
have
I'd say,
killed
like,
him.
Hiding. He created a new persona. He's hiding. On the least place that he thinks everybody would look for him.
Yeah, but then he shows the ID that gets him out of stuff.
Oh,
If you're trying to hide, you wouldn't do that.
True.
See
The
what I'm
other
saying?
option
It just
the other option is maybe I've heard this before in other TV shows, like where the Catholic Church has their own secret military force. Maybe they have some variant of that in the future in the Firefly. Because they like Warrior Nun on Netflix, for example, is a secret society within the Catholic Church that it's like warrior ninjas. Literally is what they are. They go around doing all the dirty work on behalf of the Pope. And
yeah, they used to have one. They don't anymore, but they used to have one.
Yes, Thomas, I mean a cargo transport ship.
But yeah, I mean it was just a weird like thing. It was like that's the one mystery that like got me intrigued immediately about Firefly. Was like, who is this guy? What is he about? And then nothing. And I was like, because I remember I worked at Amazon, and I actually got to see Serenity stupid early because they released the DVDs for that to distributors before the movie came out.
Oh wow!
Because remember on that one, it wasn't in theaters; it was just straight to DVD.
Yeah, straight to DVD release. Yeah.
I worked at Amazon, and I worked in ICQA at the time, and luckily, honestly, Bezos, if you're watching, good for you. You know this happens every day. But we had an area called Damage Land. And anytime something got broke or whatever and found on the warehouse, it got brought to Damage Land and basically thrown in a bin. We'd contact the manufacturer and say, what do you want us to do with it? You want us to send it back? Are you going to credit us? Are you going to do this, that, or the other? And a lot of times stuff just got thrown in the incinerator. Well, we got a box in, and this was like 3 months before Serenity was going to come out. And 5 of the DVDs for Serenity, the cases were shattered.
Oh, jeez.
So they came to Damage Land. I'm looking at it, I'm like, is this even out yet? Look it up online. Nope, it's not even out. Look at the disc, broken disc. One disc was good. So I was like, you know what? I don't really like this job anyway. If they catch me, they catch me. So, and I took it home, and I had a copy of Serenity like 3 months before it even remotely came out. And I was like debating for like a week whether I should watch it or not. And I was like, because I can't talk to anybody about it. Because if I talk to somebody about it, I'm probably going to lose my job. And it's like, and I definitely can't talk about it online because then I can get sued for it. But yeah, I ended up watching it and I was like, no Shepard, no question answered about Shepard. If anything, more questions about Shepard. God damn it. Like,
We could talk about that all night, guys. The what ifs.
Yeah.
I think we started this because I asked Mike a question about Star Trek Online's and what if who was going to happen. I was curious. I don't know if we actually got an answer. Do you think it's going to be a prequel? and then maybe the spring or fall we'll actually get the Klingon Civil War, Mike or Russ. I don't know if you've seen the article.
Considering this loading screen, I think that whatever we do is going to put us in an alliance. I do believe that.
You mean that flaming Klingon symbol?
It's a good question. I believe that we're going to have some time travel because of the voice and the character. And the question is, where are we going?
I don't think so. I mean, yes, it's possible, but they don't necessarily have to do that because time doesn't work correctly on Borov. You put the baby there like a year, and then next thing you know, he's like a 40-year-old man.
But we're going to see something with these crystals.
Yeah.
Now, that might be the way it is. We go to Boroth, and we end up, and it's supposed to be 2 missions, not just 1.
Yeah, it's 2. But are they
so? I don't think they're going to be prequel. I think that we're going to see something.
Yeah, I would say pay attention to the next few days leading up to it. We're definitely going to get more info.
But the question is, how did they do Pike? They took Pike and they put him into his own future. And he could take the crystal, but he had to, I don't know if there's going to be something there.
If he took the crystal, it would guarantee that the future he saw would happen and that there would be nothing he could do about it. If he chose to leave the crystal, he would have the opportunity to avert it.
So are we going to see a Klingon Empire that is, that what it looks like if Jimpak stays in power?
Do you guys see this right here, though? The Klingon Civil War? If you add 2 more episodes to this is pretty much its own episode arc. Could also be the introduction to, completing the Discovery Klingons. You start here, then you do the Center Line Can't Hold, Khitomer Discord, and then Partisans, and then, probably a bonus mission or something like that. It could be 1 prequel and 1 sequel. I don't know. They'd figure out how they're going to do it.
Right.
Is Martok going to end up in charge of the Klingon Empire, or is Jimpak?
See, I think because of the limitations of the program, let me stop sharing screen. I think because of the limitations of their program when they said it, because Al Rivera has covered that topic before, they can't just remove Jimpak without having to rewrite the complete code.
They'd have to rewrite so much stuff. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what he said. So I don't think so. What they can do is they can expand on it and create a new sub-faction, which is kind of what we're getting once this expands. That's why I was wondering, Mike, when I told you earlier, the idea of like maybe when you get up to a certain level, you get to choose what faction you want to be part of. Maybe it won't be the Federation. Maybe it'll be the Alliance. They'll call it instead. But
I think that what's going to happen is, this is my guess, my bet.
Yeah.
I am betting that the new Klingon is just going to be like if you choose to roll a Farasan, an Orion, or a Gorn, it's just a startup race. And you're going to have these startup missions because they spent a lot of time polishing the startup missions for the Klingon Empire.
I don't see that.
And then I think that the new faction is going to be the Alliance, and that we're seeing the second ship in the Alliance because they're trying to expand on that.
I don't think so, because the way the article is written does not, to me, it doesn't sound like that.
But I'm thinking about a loading screen. What is a huge surprise they would want to keep hidden until the story? And I think it's the fact that you're going to be dumped into an alliance. But in that way, the Klingon Empire might not survive. The Klingon Empire might end up becoming we may go back to a collection of houses. But I don't know. This is one of the bigger mysteries I've seen this game do. Normally I can figure it out, but this one, it's all guesses.
Yeah,
and whatever it is, they're trying to keep it under wraps until game day.
That's what's annoying the hell out of me.
Which means the game will crash and they will have to do updates 3 or 4 days that week.
So here's why I don't think that's going to be the case. It says when a matriarch upon, but many do not. We're proud to announce the beginning anniversary update. You'll be able to play a Discovery era Klingon. Keyword there being Discovery era.
Yeah, which is exactly what this is.
No, because I think if it's anything like I think it's going to be a Discovery expansion.
Go forward to the paragraph before, and it talks about how several Klingons came forward
Yeah.
an array of Klingon warriors came forward in time with her.
Because they're Discovery era.
So these are actually Discovery era Klingons that are stranded in our time frame. And what will happen is you will roll them and you will play them up and level them up.
Yeah, but if you play them, they're gonna
Or
be like the Discovery expansion for the Fed side.
here's the other possibility. It could be just like the Dominion, where you start off with the Klingon Civil War arc, and you're starting off at like level 60 instead of all the way down at the bottom.
Possible, but we don't know yet. That's the other thing I projected too, was maybe be like the Dominion, but I'm thinking it's going to be, Fed, or maybe they'll change the name of the Federation to the Alliance.
Now I'm thinking they're going to actually make a thing with the Alliance, and you get shifted into that, which solves all their problems. And Martok will become head of the Alliance.
I don't think that will happen at all. That's just wishful thinking on your part, my friend.
Everything is better with a Klingon. Do you want the Alliance to be glorious? And face it, don't you want Martok around?
And the other problem with Martok being the head of the Alliance is the fact that he's an expensive actor, and they're not going to want to continuously bring him back every time they want to do a continent or update.
But you're talking about an actor that enjoys doing Klingon.
I agree, but I'm looking at it from a business perspective. Cryptic is not going to want to pay this guy to keep coming back. I mean, yeah, they're going to record a bunch of stuff, and they're going to record a bunch that they won't use right away, and they'll sprinkle it in later. They've done that with all the characters, but I don't think they're going to bring it back every single time. Like, oh, we want to expand the Alliance, so we need you to come back. Oh, here's your nominal fee.
But think about it. If they put him as the head, then they can pre-record a lot of his lines. And he's not going to be going off on missions with you anymore.
I don't think it's going to be him. You know who I think it's going to be?
Okay.
He's going to play a big role in it. I think it's going to be Corrin.
I could see that.
Yeah, I think we're going to get another, and you know, I think they might get to play Corrin. If they do want to spend money, like you're saying, Mary Chieffo, or Renee or Rika Sharma, whatever her name is. Is that Renee?
Which character is she playing? She's playing the the witch.
Yeah,
that's another possibility.
No, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Corrin and whoever voices over Corrin, because she's just a regular standard actress.
And she was already going to challenge.
Yes.
For leaders, I mean, she was going to challenge him at one point, but Worf talked her out of it.
Exactly. Remember,
yeah.
I think it's going to be Corrin because she's going to be more reasonably priced for them, because she is a SAG actor, a voice actress, but she's not like the level of Robert O'Reilly or J.G. Hertzler, where it's going to cost them a pretty penny.
Okay. Now, what we know is with the last Klingon Civil War, the home world was considered neutral ground. What if, because it's come out and with the last mission, the Alliance now knows that the Jempok screwed them. So what if in these missions, the Klingon houses that are with Martok join with the Alliance, and then what we see in the spring is basically the war between us and Jempok's faction?
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah,
now,
that would work. I can get behind that.
That would work.
What would you think if Jempok actually was an Undine the whole entire time?
I would go and smack the people at Cryptic.
Why? Like they had the opportunity. I don't know what, like 7 different times to say that. Like
you are not turning my Chancellor into an Undine. What if Jempok was an Undine?
That's what I said.
Oh, I thought you were saying Martok. Sorry.
Oh, hell no. Martok's a clone, if anything.
No, Martok's the real deal.
I know he is. But I'm saying, at worst, you could possibly say he's a clone.
Oh.
Because they brought back Kahless as a clone. There's a whole thing about, I need to.
What are they going to do in there? Because they're changing that arc a little bit.
Yeah. That's why I want to see how they re-ramp that.
And they talked about Boros they talked about how that's where Kahless was supposed to return.
Mhm.
And technically he did.
But he was a clone.
Yeah. And
But
he
that
had a
could have been the
glorious death.
prophecy. That's
Yeah,
the
it could-
point. Like,
Absolutely true.
What if the time crystal takes us to where we see the original Kahless, or the original Kahless comes forward in time to us through the crystals, and we actually get to meet him?
It could be a possibility.
I mean, if you're going to do what ifs, we'll go out there and look at the original. The original.
it'd be funny. It'd be funny if it ends up being like his. You know how Worf, and we see him in TNG in the very beginning. He's like, I am a Klingon. And
The
blah, blah, blah,
original
honor. And he's like super like thing. And then as you go on, you start seeing Klingons more and more and more. And you're like, dude, Worf is not even a Klingon, really. He's just like one aspect of a Klingon. And then they pointed out in Deep Space Nine, Dax does. It's like, no,
Worf
you
reminds me of an autistic Klingon because he's so focused and hyper focused on one thing that he
yes.
can't see the bigger picture.
Mm.
Not till
What
he's
if
old.
Kahless is the same way? Because Kahless was brought up by the monks
Yes.
on Borat the same way that basically Worf was brought up by stories and explanations of like the perfect Klingon, so to speak, and Worf idealized himself like the same way. So what if they get it and he ends up being like Core? Like and we get to finally see the real Kahless and he's like just a drunken freaking malcontent. I think that would be hilarious. Like,
Scott, you're gonna take off in a minute.
Yeah, I need to. I've got a phone call I got to make.
All right,
So-
man. I think we can get ready to wrap it up, guys. Honestly, because we're at like 2 hours and 16 minutes. We could talk a little bit off the air.
Yeah, it's been fun, guys.
Because I
As
do need
always.
to get the reports out tonight, or I need to update, like I said I was going to, in the Fleet Command area.
Klingon.
Preferably before midnight tonight. All right, guys. So I want to say thank you guys for joining us tonight. And
Same here. Live long and prosper.
Glory
Peace
and
out.
honor to the Empire.